Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and today Eitan and I are here to share with you the secret to living a whole and complete life. Kabbalistically, that means to seek a whole and complete connection with the Creator, with Source, and to also seek that wholeness in our own lives. As human beings, we tend to compartmentalize. We tend to look at my health and my family and my career and my social life as separate pots that I need to fill. And this week comes to teach us that everything was one and will be one. And part of our work in this world is to rise above our perception, the illusionary perception that there is something different between me and you, between me and anyone else, and even within our own bodies, that there are separate compartments or systems when really it works as one harmonious unit. And there's so much we can learn from that, as well as some other teachings we'll bring in to help make this week one of the most healing and transformative weeks of your life yet. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We find the wisdom and tools to share with you every week from the teachings of Kabbalah. So every week ends up offering wisdom and tools that can not only support you in the next 7 days, but life lessons that you can apply any week of your life. And this week is definitely one of the most famous, I would say, in the teachings of Kabbalah. We are looking for wisdom and connection from the portion of Pinchas. And in the Zohar specifically, there are 2 volumes that elucidate the different systems in the body and the sources of illness and breakdown that come from different energies, different emotions, different consciousness, and how to transform them. So inside those secrets are also powerful lessons for us about how to navigate all areas of our life, because healing is not only something that the body requires, it's something that our relationships require, that our own self-image requires. And hopefully today, if we do this justice, you will better understand what that means for you personally. So Eitan, how should we begin this all-important conversation?
First, as you said, Elisheva, healing begins with healing our consciousness, and as a result, it will attract healing and wholeness in the different physical aspects of our life, different compartments of our life. So, I love this particular verse in the Zohar that states that the Creator created as plants, as herbs in the earth, medicine and cures for all sicknesses, mental, emotional, physical, for all sicknesses. And then the Zohar continue. So why all these secrets of the right plant will heal the certain medicine, the certain disease? Why is this wisdom is concealed to mankind? And the Zohar continue. Because if this wisdom will be revealed, people will attach themselves to the plants and forget the source of all healing, which is the Creator itself. The question you need to ask yourself first, what's the difference? Yeah, I found a good doctor. I found a good plant. I found a good methodology how to heal the problem. What's the difference if I know it's the source or I don't know it's the source? And here is the secrets of what true healing is about. As Elisheva shared, in this weekly portion, the word, the code word that describes healing is shalom. Shalom means peace, but shalom also means being whole. Healing means is alignment with the oneness of the universe. Oneness means all parts are connected and communicating between them. There's no fragmentation, there's no space, there's no disconnect. For example, when we're talking about strong immune system, we're talking an energy force within our body and our spirit that protecting and aligning all the organs and all the cells of our body as one healthy organism, that then every organ cares about the other as if there's energy of oneness and wholeness. In a company, when there's really unity between the main team, even though there are mistakes, because of unity and no energy of blames, somehow that's cohesive oneness of energy attract protection, attracts guidance, attract abundance. Between, in a family, between spouses, if there's energy of wholeness, togetherness, commitment for each other, loving each other in spite of 1, 2, 3, 4, or things don't go according to my expectation, that energy, that unit of oneness and wholeness create healing, create protection, in spite of not being perfect. So let's look at this analogy of the plants versus the source. The Creator is the source of all healing. And there's branches how that source manifests itself. So we can look at our life. The Creator is the source of soulmate energy, but as a branch will be the right person that I'm supposed to meet and to connect. The Creator is the source of all physical abundance, let's say, prosperity. But the branch can be a specific company, specific talent, specific creativity, specific invention, specific clients, which is in the world of branches. We live in the physical world of branches. What happened, like the Zohar tells us, when I'm too attached to the branch and I forget the source? Why it's such a problem? And what does it mean to attach? And that's what we are here to heal. When I'm too attached, too dependent, too fearful, too worried, which causes me to forget about the source, that's what I'm losing my connection to the Creator, which I lose the basic of all oneness, the oneness between me and the Creator. So let's breaking down, what does it mean? Elisheva, if you can start with few examples, because we're here to heal consciousness. All areas of separation that require bringing us back to wholeness. We all have areas that we need to elevate back to wholeness. Wholeness means while I'm dealing with the branches, I'm seeing and feeling and connecting and depending only to one thing, not to one branch, not to one person, not to one source of income, to the source itself, in my consciousness, in my awareness, in my trust. So let's break it down. And as we're talking, it's an important week to realize, I need to elevate my fragmented consciousness to wholeness consciousness in this area in my life, in that area in my life. So, Elisheva, you start.
I think the most relatable or most obvious example of this is when we allow an individual to become source. Whether in a positive way, we can say it's positive, we love someone very much, and how they treat us, how they feel about us, how they feel is so important to us that we allow it to affect us. How it can be a significant other. It often, when we're younger, it's with our parents. As we get older, for some people, it's their children. But we allow our mood, our energy, our vibration to be dictated by how this other person feels and sometimes even treats us. And it goes so far. I mean, I see it in the work that we do with individuals. Some people even lose their own identity to their partner, their child, their parent, depending on the scenario. And they look at the other person and say, when that person changes, everything will be okay. When we get over that, when we get married, things will settle down. When that person gets his job, and we put the other person and their life story in the role of the cause. That becomes the source. And when they're okay, I feel good, things are peaceful, I feel the light. But when they're not okay, I feel darkness. And that to me is one of the greatest illusions. We teach very early on in our classes that every individual is a messenger, is sent to us by the light of the Creator to help facilitate some kind of transformation, growth, healing within us. And when we assign another individual the role of source rather than extension, and acknowledge that they're a messenger, they're part of the precise and intricate network that the universe has to help each one of us elevate to our highest potential, when we get confused, I mean, think about it, it's the same thing that the body does. The body is trained through the magnificent light of the Creator to identify an invader, a germ, bacteria, maybe an allergen, and it knows to attack that invader. We should be, in a way, programmed naturally to recognize the same thing. But what happens often, illness many times begins when the body attacks something that isn't harmful. When the body recognizes, gets confused, and thinks that a helper cell is actually part of the problem. And we do the same thing. We look at a person who's inconveniencing us, challenging us, provoking us, being rude, fill in the blank for what's relevant for you. We look at them as a problem. And we forget that even the person who's a problem for us is sent to us, is part of that intricate network of the universe, sent to us by the light of the Creator to assist us in some form of growth or transformation. So I think part of the healing of this perception of separation and fragmentation is not allowing ourselves the luxury of perceiving that anyone is separate from us or separate from the universe. Sometimes we treat people as though the universe made a mistake, the Creator made an oversight, this isn't supposed to be here. But the real fact of the matter is that the moment we take someone and separate themselves in our minds from that whole WHOLE component system of the universe, we make them the source. We make them the creator. We make them the cause. They make me angry. They make me feel bad about myself. They make me beat my whatever. But the moment you remember, okay, wait a second, this is also from the light of the Creator, the same way a beautiful sunset or a miraculous recovery from an illness or the birth of a child, that's all. I see that that's from the light of the Creator. The annoying person, the mean person, the triggering person is also from the light of the Creator. And when we make sure not to separate and attach ourselves to that in an unhealthy way to that extension, we bring it back to source, and then we can be open to receive what the annoying, difficult, challenging person was sent to us in the first place to help us reveal or uncover about ourselves. So it's very high level consciousness shift, but it extends itself in a very practical way that all of those moments that are difficult and challenging are just as much from the light as the ones that we feel are inherently blessed and special and miraculous.
Beautiful. So even on a practical level, what you said, Elisheva, we know, even it's approved medically, that holding grudge, having resentment, having anger issues does affect our health. Definitely. So let's explore in that understanding source versus branches, how that concept of grudge, resentment, and anger work. So let's say, so I had certain expectation. I was hurt by someone, which that someone, we all branches of the creator, we all extensions of the creator. And I'm hurt, which is a human, it's part of the human processes we all need to go through. Nevertheless, keep holding the grudge. Hurt is a moment of grudge. We all need to go through those moments. That's part of transformation. But holding grudge is making that branch, that person, the source, making that person the source of life is fair or life is not fair. And as I'm zooming out, I'm saying, one second, there's a source of all good. This is just a branch. Maybe this branch appear imperfect based on his own process, but relative to me, because it's all came from the source, it's part of a perfected system of growth. So in these particular things, when I need to identify, if I identify areas I'm holding grudges, would definitely needs to heal. I'm saying, one second. The reason actually I'm holding grudge because I'm attached myself to the small vision that the branch is my source of energy. That person is my source of feeling good or feeling bad. So I want to heal it, and part of the heal is to go back to the source of wholeness. The creator is my source, and that experience is driven by the force of the creator, wants to elevate me by me forgiving. It says in the Zohar clearly, every time you let go of grudge, you open yourself for a miracle, for healing. So the fact that you're saying, please the creator, I know that everything is for my best because the source is where all the energy comes from, and the intention of the source is only to elevate us. Number one. Number two, please help me to let go of this illusionary belief, illusionary dependency, which makes that energy of grudges, makes me not present, makes me have internal conflict, makes me, it blocks part of my heart that causes me to look at other areas of my life. The same thing is about resentment. The same thing is about anger. And you spoke, Elisheva, about identity. It's like, let's say a person managed to be successful in certain areas in their life. It can be in finance, it can be in creativity, it can be in helping someone, it can be in teaching Kabbalah even. Doesn't matter what it is. Is my identity as Kabbalah teacher? Is my identity as a successful businessman? Is my identity as creative genius? Is my identity a problem solver genius in this world? Is my identity is the branch? As long as that's become my identity, which that's the job of the ego, and the ego is nurtured by the opposite of wholeness, separation. That's who I am. That's the only thing. As long as I'm attached to that, it's a false sense of identity and security, because our true identity, I own nothing. I'm just a conduit, a branch to extend and to reveal the light of the Creator. My true identity is the light of the Creator. My true identity is a channel to transmit the light of the Creator in whatever ways. Today happened to be through success. Tomorrow happened to be through creative. I don't know. I want every day to. That's my true identity. Not what I accomplished yesterday. It was a branch. It's not my source. Or in another application, a person working on a deal, he trusts the Creator. The Creator is bringing money. Wow, amazing connections, amazing opportunity, amazing client. And that deal didn't work out. That deal was just a pipe, potential pipe, where money can come from, where abundance can come from. The source still giving. In my channel, you thought it's through this pipe. Actually, it's coming from another pipe. But you're so upset about I didn't get the money. Where are you, God? Because I'm so attached to that one pipe, one direction. The flow is coming. What pipe? That's part of the hide and seek of this world. That's part of the wonders of life, the miracles, the surprises, the appreciation of God when things coming in an unexpected way. No, I want it to come from that pipe. Same thing is about the person. I want a soulmate. It feels, she feels, he feels, that's my soulmate. I'm so attached. Soulmate is coming. Is that your real pipe? Is that not? It has to be that. I decided already. When I'm attached, like you said, Elisheva, to a pipe as my identity, to a pipe or branch in a good way. I'm getting energy, I'm happy, that's it. I'm too attached, I'm too dependent. Just a matter of time I'll suffer with that relationship, with any codependency. Or if I'm attached in a negative way, I didn't get it, I'm upset. So in that moment, there's lack of wholeness, there's conflicts, negative thoughts, negative emotions, stress, negative. It's all result of separate myself from source. A person is so excited, full of himself because he achieved something in the world of branches. So forgot about God, forgot about gratitude, forgot about appreciation. Feeling is better than anybody else. It's just a matter of time that it's caused because it's the moment of fragmentation. I'm separating branch from source. It's okay to celebrate success as thank you, the Creator. How can I strengthen my connection to Source even more? That's amazing. Celebrate. Branches reveal fruits. That's the purpose of life.
It's so true. I see so many times people say things like, I'm just waiting for them to say I'm sorry. I'm just waiting for them to say I was wrong. Or in the positives, I'm waiting for my boss to tell me I did a good job, or I'm waiting for the promotion, whatever it is. If you're waiting for I'm sorry, you're allowing words to be your source. I think about it just for a second. If we really stopped and reflected and asked ourselves, my peace depends on 2 words. My peace depends on someone acknowledging I'm a good employee. How could we let ourselves do that? And I think that shift, the whole idea of, being at peace can't come if everything is okay on the outside, but you're nervous about something happening next week. You could be on a gorgeous beach in Tahiti and not be at peace, not be calm, not be tranquil. The real work is I think it's in the heart. It's that knowing that despite what I'm experiencing in all the different areas, whatever area in my life that's so challenging or so perplexing in that moment, I know that the source is one. And I know that the sole desire of that source is to elevate me, is to grant me goodness, even though I might not like what's in front of me right now. I might not agree with it. It might not be pleasant. The moment I remember where it comes from, I can attach to the true blessing inside it. And to me, it's, I may let myself get a little bit annoyed for a second, and then as quickly as possible, remember, this too is from the source. This too is connected to getting me to my highest potential. And therefore, the fact that I know it's perfect for me actually allows, like you said, that light from inside it to penetrate through the darkness that I'm perceiving with my limited, perception, my past, and my 5 senses. So especially, and I think this lesson, it's not a coincidence that this week will always fall in the month of Cancer, and it's really a gift that the beginning of what we call the 3 weeks of narrowness, that narrow perception that we can have, that the light is coming to us through a very fine, thin straw rather than in the abundance and limitless way that it does. Those 3 weeks begin this week on Thursday. In the week that we have the opportunity to infuse all the aspects of our life with peace, with connection to source, with that deep sense that it's all for my best. It's all coming from the infinite source of the creator, and that we can really invite, ask, desire that the 3 weeks that we're entering this week, so again, starting the 17th of the month of Cancer is this Thursday, for the next 3 weeks, they can be very challenging. But they're challenging only when we forget that there is a purpose to that experience. When we think that it's random, that it's unfair, that it's not connected to the personalized plan that the Creator has for my soul. So let's also be mindful of infusing this higher level consciousness into our daily practice so that these 3 weeks end up being a catalyst for expedited growth and transformation and shifting consciousness rather than, I'd rather retreat to my cave and hide for the next few weeks.
Beautiful.
Any last words, Eitan?
Yes, I think the 3 weeks period, the 21 days starting this coming Wednesday night until the 9th day of Av, Tisha B'Av, it's interesting. In one end, as it says, that is the toughest 3 weeks of the year, and there's some restriction, don't start new businesses and so on. But actually, Kabbalistically, it says that these 21 days correspond to the 21 holidays that we have throughout the years. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Passover, Shavuot, all together is 21 days. And basically, each one of these days consists many moments and aspect of our life individually and collectively that needs to be healed, needs to be returned to source. Grudges, fears, holding on to pain. Think about holding on to pain. We have trauma pain from this lifetime, from past lifetime, and we treat it as bad energy that I have to protect myself. It's only because of the short vision, I'm just attached to the branch, that's something that happened. Am I open to the fact that actually through this pain, there's wisdom, information, growth, and I'm open to actually experience that pain again, but go back to source. And what is source? I desire to elevate you. Then we close our heart. Think about it. Every experience that we perceive as painful from our past, we have a subconscious mechanism to protect ourselves and to say, I have to protect myself. I don't want to experience that. By doing it, I'm separating branch from source. By being open and saying, I'm allowing, even this 3 week period, I'm allowing this difficulty because I know it's part of the experience of elevating myself to source. Yes, it's a little uncomfortable, but the real information is replugging to the source, breaking that blockage. Yes, pain, it's an area of disease, but actually allowing myself to feel the pain is part of the healing. So really, it's such a special time. Let's all, every area in our life, in thoughts, in reactivities, in fears, in resentment, in judgment, in isolation, in selfishness. Because when I truly care about someone and give unconditionally without agenda, I'm healing. Healing them, healing me, healing the universe, because it's energy of oneness. So let's open ourselves for all this opportunity to transform fragmented energy, separation between branch and source, to oneness energy, wholeness energy.
Amazing. So excited for us to reach this next level on our journey together. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us there to receive even more content to support you in living what we discuss in every episode. You can also visit weeklyenergyboost.com, where you can search through our archives, send us a message, or click the donate button and support the production of Weekly Energy Boost. But as always, the greatest gift you can do for yourself and for the world is to share this episode. Imagine more people on this planet understanding that the purpose is to create more oneness, more wholeness, rather than more separation and division. What a different world we would live in. Have a fabulous week. We'll see you next time on Weekly Energy Boost.